world. Oh, they're the weirdest animal ever. G'day, I'm the resident nature nerd at ABC Science. We got plenty of deadly animals here in Australia. So now it's time to look around the world.
Go Impala.
And today we're taking a deep dive into dangerous aquatic animals. From those with huge jaws
Got him big time.
to murderous mollusks. That is such a stupid thing to do. And I'm also going to speak to a ranger who's had some close calls with deadly dinosaurs. We've trawled the internet for the best videos.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
To discover which of these 5 animals are truly deadly. Hippos, the aquatic mammal that can't even swim. How is it that a mostly vegetarian river giant like that can be one of the most dangerous animals in all of Africa? Oh no, out of water in the daytime. Oh no. So one of the things that hippos do is use their incredible jaw as like a rabbit trap. They'll open it up and they can open up a huge amount, 150 degrees, and then chomp down like, I don't know, a death trap. And that looks like it might have happened in this case, that the hippo actually charged and chomped. And that is a deadly combination. They're good on land and they're pretty damn good in water as well. Whoa! Look at the waves it makes. It looks like a special effect, like a movie. What? That is huge. That is so cool. And also in that slow-mo, you see one of the adaptations or behaviours that they do that enables them to dive deep under the water. When it comes up, you'll notice that its little nostrils, which have been closed under the water, open when they're up in the air. I suppose like a blowhole from a whale, they just go. Hippos are incredibly dangerous, and hippos have been known to tip things like kayaks. And it is thought that hippos are responsible for something like 500 deaths every year in Africa, but most of those aren't from boat capsizing, but rather from people entering into a hippo's territory from the water's edge. So there's a lot of people dying from hippos.
Look at this little beauty.
Ah, look at those little ears.
Ooh, it looks like Mom might get out of the water.
Hippos are found in lakes and rivers all throughout sub-Saharan Africa, from Sudan in the northeast, all the way down to the pointy bit, South Africa. So they're called hippopotamus amphibious. Amphibious means that they are both on land and in water. And hippopotamus comes from Greek roots. It actually means water horse. Look at that booty. I actually think they could be called land whales though, because their closest cousin on the taxonomic tree is actually whales. It's tiny. I mean, in saying that, they're born at about 45 kilograms, so it's not tiny. That is adorable. They'll stay in the water for like 16 hours a day, and they're nocturnal. They'll come out at night, and that's when they do their grazing. They are mostly vegetarian. They eat something like 45 kilograms of grass every day. You can imagine how much hippo crap that is. It's a lot of hippo crap. It's like a helicopter. How amazing are hippos? There are so many different ecological benefits from them moving between land and water. And one of the weirdest ones has to do with silicon and poo. Silicon is a building block of life forms. It's the little structures that diatoms build themselves out of. Now, diatoms are single cellular life forms that form essentially the basis of the food web. So what the hippos do is eat kilograms of grass every day. One of the things that's in the grass is a whole heap of silicon. The hippos then act like a bit of a silicon conveyor belt, keep it in their tummy, get all the way back into the water and crap it out. The silicon goes out into that watery ecosystem and the diatoms are able to suck it all in and reproduce. Reversed! Someone's having too much fun there. Because they eat so much grass, scientists thought that hippos were vegetarians. If they are, it turns out they're not very strict.
We have a standoff here, an unusual standoff for this part of the world. We've got a crocodile and an impala. This is fascinating.
Oh, God.
Now the impala might make a run for it. Oh, it's going to be in trouble now.
This is going to give me a heart attack.
Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. Here comes a hippo in too. Go, impala. There's a hippo coming in. I can't believe what we're seeing here. This is what we'd normally see in East Africa. It's all over. Hippo leaping at the crocodile now. It's precisely what we expected to happen.
Wait,
if
something came up. Zoom out,
the
zoom out.
impala took a leap there. What's going on there? I think they've grabbed the crocodile.
Where did the second one come from? Hippos don't like crocodiles. It's because crocodiles can prey on their young. So yeah, when they see them in their territory, they're likely to see them off the premises. Look at how many there are!
They are going for it. They get out of our...
Wow. Ooh, oh, crocodile. Ain't looking good for you, mate. Oh! You can see that these hippos are feeling aggressive. You're seeing some really big yawns that show off their main weapon, those big teeth, those huge jaws that can clamp down. In fact, the charge and chomp apparently ripped in half a 4-metre crocodile once. That's how powerful a hippo chomp is.
Got him. Got him big time.
So if you're kayaking, you need to stay away from hippo areas, and if you know that you're in a hippo area, maybe bang the side of the boat and make lots of noise so that they know that you're coming along. Don't sneak up on a hippo. Octopus. These mollusks are pretty freaky, but how are they dangerous?
Go for it. Wang it on me.
Oh, God. That looks to me to be like a blue-ringed octopus, one of the most highly venomous animals in the world, and one of the ones that we do not have an anti-venom for. That is such a stupid thing to do. That is such a stupid thing to do. Now, bit of octopus anatomy for you, right? They've got a little beak, and it's right in the middle of their body underneath, and that's the bit that they inject venom with. So it needs to actually drop down onto its prey to be able to kill it. So these guys are literally playing Russian roulette. How they create that venom is actually in their salivary glands. They've got a little bacteria in them and it creates tetrodotoxin. That is an incredibly strong chemical that is a neurotoxin. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to start to feel like your arms and legs are a bit numb or tingly. Your speech will become impaired. You might vomit. Then you'll become paralysed and won't be able to move. You'll still be fully conscious, but you'll likely die from lack of oxygen. It's not a pleasant process to go through. And if you do see a blue-ringed octopus, take a photo and don't touch it. Look at his spots. Whoa! So this is a day octopus, right? And they're soft-bodied. It means that they're really very vulnerable to attack. So they use camouflage. They can change their colours using chromatophores. And they can also change the texture using these little lumps that they can sort of bring up. And it means that, see how the bottom of the ocean in this part is sort of lumpy and algae? It can make itself look like it's got the lumps. Look at that! That is so cool. I do believe that this octopus has probably been disturbed by this diver, and that's why it's doing such visualization. And that's a great view of the texture that it can change, make itself look like it's a completely different object. What a performance.
It's gonna be cool. You see that slot? No way, he can't get to. You are wrong, my friend. You're a kid. No.
Now, octopuses can be very small or very large, but the important thing is they don't feel restricted by their size.
He can go through anything that his beak will fit through.
A giant Pacific octopus is giant. It's the biggest octopus that there is. A lot of them grow to about 5 meters, which is sort of terrifying.
You watch, he's gonna go right through there. Look at him.
Octopuses aren't shapeshifters, they're invertebrates, and that means they don't have an internal skeleton. They've got that little bony beak, and they've got a bit of cartilage that protects their brain, but apart from that, it's malleable. That means that they can fit through tiny holes, they can spread out wide like a parachute, and they can do all sorts of things. It's frankly, I'm a bit jealous. The octopus brain is different than the human brain. They have what's called decentralized intelligence. It means that there's a core of brain, it's like a donut, it's in the bell part of their body. All the way out their arms, they have neurons, which is sort of crazy to think about, and it means that if an arm gets chopped off, it'll actually continue to do the action that it was meant to be doing, even though it's disembodied from the main part of the octopus's intelligence.
There's his nose. He's just all the way through it now. Except for, just back off the thing. Now watch.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh dear. You're not going to get it off either, because if you remove one arm, it's got like 7 other arms. There are documented cases of octopus attack. But the thing is, almost all of them have a backstory, right? Where the octopus was provoked in some way. Divers who regularly dive say that one of the most important things to do is to protect your air source. Must be like trying to fight angry jelly. If it wanted to, it could potentially really injure this bloke. Is he saying take a photo? Hello, I'm here from the future to warn you that the next clip made me make an eek face. It's a bit disturbing, so keep that in mind. Yeah. Look at those suckers. I think I remember seeing this at the time. It's filmed overseas, and I think that this girl was making a series about eating live seafood, which is common in some cultures around the world. But in the case of octopuses, it's probably not a good idea. Look at it pulling her eye. So what is amazing about seeing this octopus attack this vlogger's face is that you can actually see how nimble each individual sucker is. They can really actually rotate and move. They're incredibly strong, and you can get octohickeys from them. So I wouldn't be surprised if the day after she was actually bruised. She did get a cut. Quite frankly, she got off lightly. It's also really dangerous to eat octopus arms that are freshly taken from the octopus because they've got that decentralized nervous system. It means that they keep wriggling for quite some time, sometimes in excess of 15 minutes. And there have been cases of people eating fresh octopus arms and actually choking because as they go down, the suckers suck on to the inside of their throat. So let that be a lesson. Most octopuses are actually really shy and retiring. They like to hide away and avoid confrontation. So to avoid getting an octopus hug from 8 very strong neuron-filled, sucker-lined arms, the best thing to do is give them space that they can go about their octopusy business, and we can admire them from afar because there's so much to admire. We've got even better videos to come, so stay tuned. We usually think of sea lions as harmless and playful and like doggos of the sea. So why are they getting a reputation for being so aggressive?
Hey, he's biting my kayak. Oh!
Whoa!
Oh! Oh! What are you doing?
One of the ways you can tell this is a sea lion and not a seal is because it's got little external ear bits.
Fine.
Seals have holes, sea lions have little external ears.
He wants my fish.
Yes, he does want your fish.
No.
It got his fish.
Don't bite me. Your fishy's here.
That is a risk.
Ow! Ow!
He knew it was coming. He knew he was doing the wrong thing. This is often how interactions with wild animals go. You see, it clearly had got fish off fishermen before because it just kept on harassing them until it got what it wanted. And that's why feeding animals is bad. It habituates them to human contact, and then that can impact negatively on the humans and also on the animals. But yeah, what a pretty little thing. Hi, look at the little whiskies. God, it still disappears in that water though, doesn't it? That's definitely a male because it's got that big forehead, quite flat. It's probably a California sea lion. Oh, feeding it. Why would you do that? It is so dangerous.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Are you all right?
Crikey, that's why you don't feed animals. It habituates them to being around you and expecting food. Every animal is different and you never know how one is going to react. There were so many signs. Circling back around, locked eyes. It started to lift itself out of the water before it even lunged. Like, I mean, so many signs.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Though this was a pretty aggressive sort of attack, I don't think there's many fatalities from sea lion attacks. At least not that I've heard of yet. Oh, that's so dangerous because his air pipes are like right there. He's getting the shot though. Oh, those teeth. Really strong teeth. And as they age, they often become black because of bacteria in the mouth. It's probably a young seal. Maybe it's exploring the texture of the wetsuit. Maybe it's just being naughty. Oh, that's terrifying. That charging, blowing bubbles, barking, that's the sort of thing that says, from the sea lion, get the hell out of here. So the sea lion, they're generally more curious than they are aggressive, but they can deliver a nip, and that can be bad. On top of that, that can have a really massive infection. So it's best to keep your distance. After all, it's in the name. Lion, sea lion, you don't go close to him. For a creature that's been around for 200 million years, it's actually really surprising how widespread crocodile species are. They're found in 26 countries in Africa alone, and that species is named after that huge river, the Nile.
Oh, a croc. Oh, wow, he's got him.
Oh my God.
No way.
When a croc is lucky enough to actually capture its prey item, they've got something like 65 teeth. And it's not necessarily the teeth that you've got to be worried about, it's the bite force.
This is incredibly rare to see. There's another crocodile coming in now.
The most of any animal in the world that they've been able to measure so far.
Coming around. Big one in front.
Around the world, there's an estimated 1,000 people that die every year from crocodile attacks. It's definitely more fatal than sharks. Now we're on to the sunshine state of the US, Florida.
Pete, you're too close to him.
It's really asking for trouble, isn't it, when you take out a camera when you're in a canoe? You just know it's going to end poorly.
Oh God, Pete, your paddle's too close to that one.
Crocodiles!
Sorry.
Sorry. These are really cool reptiles. Their whole structure around their face is built so that they can pretend to be a stick. They've got pretty good hearing, so when he lets out his little screams, the crocs probably heard it. They've got little holes with flaps that are behind their eyes, and actually their ear canals are really interesting. They sort of don't have two separate ears like we do, but rather a tube that goes all the way through their head, which is sort of cool. But yeah, they can hear pretty well. The crocs would have known that they were there, for sure. Ooh, mud skipper. Hi, mud skipper. Why is it that they always stop? There's never any closure on these things. That seemed to be a little croc, and it looked like it was that ambush behaviour, like it just popped up out of nowhere and was like, "Mrong!" Probably would go for the mud skipper, but it might have been attracted by the movement of the tourists. So that is something to think about. Just wandering along beside a waterway is a dangerous thing to do. Little doggo. There's a big croc there, mate. Whoa!
Dog.
She's gonna thong it. Yeah, it backed off. Bloody worked. That is the most Australian thing I have seen. Not in the recommended playbook when it comes to dealing with crocodiles. So the recommended advice, if you see crocs or you're in croc territory, is to spend as little time as possible at the water's edge, and also to move about your position at the edge of the water. So instead of going every day at the same time to get water from the river, you want to move up and down the bank so you're not predictable for the crocodile. For some people, including Indigenous Australians, crocodile attack is a daily risk. I spoke to Ranger Greg Wilson, who has regular run-ins with crocs.
To meet my 3 dogs, my brother dog, and my nephew bitten by a crocodile. They're really fast. They can grab you, spin you, twist you. They come up from nowhere. They come up, see you here, boom, grab you. If you want to get rid of him, hit him really hard with the nose, really hard. You better be really fast. Hit that crocodile. Otherwise, you might kill you. Really dangerous job.
You know, they call Australia the lucky country, but I don't think that's what they were talking about. It's no surprise, crocodiles are deadly, but their attacks are pretty rare and they're mostly preventable. Remember, if you're near the water, your safety is your responsibility, not the crocs.
That's on 21!
Yep, It's the biggest, scariest fish in the ocean, the great white shark. Sharks! What do we got here? A spear fisherman in South Africa. Okay. That means there's potentially blood in the water if you've been lucky enough to get a fish. Okay, I thought the rock was a shark then. This is why I'm not a diver. Whoa, hi! Hi! It's like a charge that shark just did. Came out of nowhere, turned away at the last minute. That was saying, move out of my territory.
Point!
So it looks like it's actually a small shark. There's a chance that it might be just as scared of the diver as the diver is of it, as in they both just like, scared each other as they came around the corner of the rock, and, you know, it was just a misunderstanding.
Yes, I feel it.
Incredible, but he did do the right thing. He got out of there. All right, here we are in Urunga in New South Wales.
It's chasing me.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's quite close.
Hey, Dave, come here, please.
Yeah, you come over here into the dead danger zone.
Holy that's a big white. He's very interested in me. Like it's shaking.
It's the little leg pumps is like, worst predator in the world.
I can hear him coming like I'm paddling. I can hear him thumping away behind me.
To me, this behaviour isn't attacking. If it wanted to attack him and kill him, it probably would have done so. It just seems more curious. Splashing the water and with your paddle probably isn't the best thing to do, because what it says to the shark is that perhaps there's something that's in a little bit of distress that's quite interesting there in the water. So yeah, that's probably not the recommended thing to do. In fact, you probably want to be as uninteresting as possible. But if a shark does attack you, it is a very good idea to use the paddle to boop it on the nose. It's got quite sensitive little schnoz, and on top of that, you can go for the eyes as well. Caveat on that. Very important not to boop a shark that's just saying hello and being curious. You don't want to escalate things when the shark just wants to check you out rather than attack you. Wow, look at it. You can see that the shark is just going for the cage. That is such a good shot. The shark teeth are amazing. They're serrated, and you can see that they point backwards into the shark's mouth. It's essentially a huge set of fish hooks that go into the flesh, and it means that even if you tried, you're not going to get away. You're just going to push yourself deeper onto these razor-sharp, serrated teeth. So if a great white shark wants to get you, yeah, it's going to get you.
We got a big great white out there. We recommend get out ASAP. There's a big great white shark out there.
Australia records the highest number of shark fatalities in the world. But there are some things that we can do to make sure we get a warning before the sharks get too close.
Yeah, I'm on it, bro.
One of them is drones that are used to basically spot the shark and give warning to people to get out of the water.
Hey, don't go out.
No, don't go out. There's a big great white out there.
It's actually so beautiful and calming to watch it, and that's what 99% of the time our interactions with these animals are. Worldwide, about 4 people die every year from shark attack. But every single year, 100 million sharks and rays are removed from the world's ocean by commercial fishing. The disparity is just amazing. These aren't really a risk to our well-being. In fact, they aid our well-being.
He's over at Tama, yeah.
When you take out these top-order predators, the fish that normally would be kept under control by great white sharks might proliferate. They eat all of the plants, the seagrass meadows. These ecosystems are incredibly important in combating climate change because they sink carbon. So what we must do is include in conservation planning these top order predators, because their part, along with every other organism below them, is critical to our future survival. Yeah, sharks are absolutely deadly in all senses of the word. But when it comes to avoiding a bite, really, it's all about perspective and prevention. You're much more likely to die of drowning than you are of a shark bite. And if the shark bite is truly a fear of yours, then the answer is not going in the water. So there you have it. Some of the world's most dangerous aquatic animals. Sure, they can be scary, but there's plenty to be impressed by. From the highly evolved apex predators with their incredibly sharp senses, to the giant mammals whose poo breathes life into whole ecosystems. And then there's the ones that have 3 hearts, blue blood, and neurons in their arms. See you next time. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, why don't you click around, because on ABC Science we've got heaps of videos that are just like this. In fact, we upload them every single week. So it's worth hitting subscribe, and I'll see you here next time.